Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. Former Ripple employee Corey Johnson, who I always liked. I was sad to see him go. But he's still always saying positive things about Ripple and XRP, and the separation seems to, at least appearance-wise, certainly appears to be like done on an adult, like a agreeable type of way. Can I word it like that? Take a look at this article from You Today. Ripple's XRP is better idea for the world than Libra, hence Corey Johnson from Slam, Vibe, and The Street. And again, of course, formerly with Ripple here. So I'm going to be running through this article. I've also got a couple tweets from XRP community members. I actually have a tweet from David Schwartz I want to share with you because this guy has a sense of humor. And it is displayed. I like it. And then the last thing I'm going to cover in this particular video, it's a piece from Cointelegraph titled Privacy-Focused Cryptos Hunted Down by Forensics and Exchanges. And it's just another opportunity for me to point out how ridiculous it is, just the concept of privacy coins, and why I think that they will all go the way of the dodo. That is to say, extinct. So that's what Moon Lambo thinks anyway. Before we get going, though, if you would please delicately tap that like button, and if you are a friend of Ripple and XRP, go ahead and subscribe to the Moon Lambo channel. You will be amongst friends here as well. And if you don't, thanks for stopping by regardless. I do appreciate all the support in whatever form it may manifest. Shout out to Poochie. I still don't know if I'm saying that right. But P-U-C-C-I, thank you very much for tagging me here along with some of my fellow XRP community members. Tweeted this out. Ripple's XRP is better idea for the world than Libra, hence Corey Johnson from Slam, Vibe, and the other, what's the other one it's called? TheStreet.com. So that's the title of the piece right here, and that's where I got this from. The famous journalist responds to the tweet of a Bloomberg Bitcoin critic who plans to discuss Libra with the author of The Code of Capital on the What Did You Miss show. Corey Johnson, a magazine writer, forensic analyst, crypto influencer, and investigative journalist, editor at Slam, Vibe, and The Street, believes that that's not enough stuff, is it? It's only like six, seven things I listed there. That's not enough stuff. He must have a ton of free time. Anyway, he believes that Ripple and XRP is the only crypto that you can actually report about, while when it comes to the rest of the crypto industry, it is merely guessing. The tweet came as a response to the Libra issue. And here we go. Here's the tweet in question. IMHO, in my humble opinion, if you don't start by talking about Ripple and XRP, you're guessing, not reporting. Corey Johnson's tweet came in response to the post of the Bloomberg TV anchor Joe Weisenthal. On October 24, Weisenthal said on his Twitter page about having Katharina Pistol, the author of The Code of Capital book, on his show What Did You Miss to discuss Libra, apparently in the light of the recent testimony of Mark Zuckerberg to the U.S. Congress. And here's the tweet there from Joe Weisenthal. Reminder, we're going to have Katharina on WDYM today. Right? Earlier, You Today wrote about Joe Weisenthal's anti-Bitcoin series of tweets, and the eToro's chief analyst, Matty Greenspan, publishing an open letter to him in response. At the show, Katharina Pistol stated that Libra can bring danger of corporations getting the control of the new global payment system, saying that Facebook is conducting the pro-Libra campaign, talking to the regulators. This means, as per her, that the social media giant will be the decision maker when it comes to Libra and not the Libra Association. Having said that, Pistol admitted that the current system of transnational payments has been outdated and that the banks need to upgrade it. Pistol's recent tweet suggests that her attitude towards Libra and to any similar payment system is suspicious. And you can see here's a tweet from Katharina on the screen, which reads, "This is too big to let go. Perhaps the Libra was a trial balloon, but let's not fool ourselves. Someone will control the digital infrastructure for global payment, and he bets who the winner might be." I know, and I've seen this in the XRP community, the concept of a trial balloon. That's her wording. Other people have stated that this was just a way to test and see, how the public sure would respond, but more important, regulators. I'm not so convinced of that. I think it was just a sloppy announcement where Facebook really got ahead of themselves, and ultimately they have acknowledged, and that's what I think about what Mark Zuckerberg said the other day, acknowledged that Facebook may be not the best messenger for Libra. Given that acknowledgement, no, I don't think that this was some sort of ninja-style execution of a great plan. No, it was sloppy, and it was, as Brad Garlinghouse, what's the word he used? He said it was, I believe he said arrogant. Yeah, that was it, right? Silicon Valley arrogance, that's the quote. That's what Brad Garlington said in a TV interview. That's what he called it. And that makes sense to me. Now, in terms of any bets who the winner might be as it pertains to controlling the digital infrastructure for global payments, well, it to me, look, Ripple, of course, to me it makes a ton of sense that Ripple would be a winner with what they're doing. Nobody else is even trying to solve the problem they're trying to solve by these means. Nobody else is seeking to solve the issue of actual settlement. Many entities are going after payments, fine. Nobody else is utilizing a cryptocurrency to solve settlement. And that's substantial because humans have not devised another way to solve the issue, the train wreck that is cross-border payments in terms of settlement. There is no other solution, and Ripple, again, only one's doing it there. So they're going to get their piece of the pie, but there are a lot of ways in which money moves around the world, and there are all sorts of people that have all sorts of different incentives. So if there is just this vision that there's going to be one to rule them all as it pertains to fintech and Forex, I don't buy into that. I think that Ripple's going to do quite well. I think what they're doing is going to be quite transformative globally. I think that there are going to be a lot of copycats to whatever degrees as time passes. I think that other entities likely will utilize XRP if they want to jump on this, if they want to solve a settlement problem. That could be a real uphill battle. Who knows? Maybe even Swift. There's no evidence, by the way. There's no evidence that Swift is going to use a cryptocurrency, but if they want to stay in the game, I don't know how they don't. Whether it's XRP or something else. And if it were going to be something else, well, then if you're not utilizing XRP, you have to build out corridors for all this stuff with sufficient liquidity. So to me, it would just make more sense to just join the party. One of those things like if you can't beat them because you're Swift, then join them. One of those types of things. Anyways, here's a subheading. Does Corey Johnson suggest Ripple instead of Libra? Judging by the tweet Johnson published as a comment to the Bloomberg talk on Libra, it is possible that he suggests Ripple's XRP to be the answer to the current issues of the transnational payment system in the US and globally rather than Libra. Well, I think that's a fair guess, actually. As a reminder, Ripple has recently been testing its new on-demand liquidity product, formerly known as XRapid, with MoneyGram. Testing is the wrong word. They're in full production, and that's an actual customer. But anyway, with MoneyGram on the largest Mexican exchange, Bitso. Besides, Ripple has set up an office in Washington, D.C. for a closer dialogue with regulators regarding blockchain and crypto. So yes, Ripple is indeed courting Washington. No question about that. Take a look at this tweet also from Corey Johnson. And it was in response to Katharina Pistor. This wasn't covered in the article. So, the tweet from Katharina was, it says, this is too big to let go. Perhaps the Libra was a trial balloon, but let's not fool ourselves. Someone will control the digital infrastructure for global payment. Any guess who the winner might be? Corey Johnson retweeted that with this comment. Ripple and XRP. It's already happening, and yes, I placed that bet. Look at that. Yes, so again, he says, in terms of, again, the question, who will control the digital infrastructure for global payment? So this is more bold than I would have stated, but I still like it. That's why I wanted to share it with you. He said, Ripple and XRP, it's already happening, and yes, I placed that bet. So he got him some XRP, huh? How about that? I like that. I just think there are going to be a lot of winners, but if you're talking specifically about cross-border payments, well, yeah, Ripple the winner all the way. I'm just saying that that's not the only reason to move money around the world is to convert from one fiat to another. So there's going to be remittance companies the world over and all sorts of other banks and financial institutions, and I'm just saying I don't know for sure that SWIFT is going to go away. I don't know, but their market share will be substantially reduced as time passes at a minimum. And maybe they do go away. I don't know. I'm kind of skeptical that they'd 100% go away, but they could be like a shadow of their former self. Like that would make sense to me, essentially. And as far as why Corey Johnson left, here's the article. This happened in February of 2019. This is titled from CoinDesk, Corey Johnson out as Ripple's chief market strategist. And this is just one of those things where I don't think that we're ever going to get the full story, but it seemed to be a happy enough departure as far as these types of things go. So there's Tom Chanik, a Ripple spokesperson, said the following, again back in February. Corey's last year at Ripple, because he was there for 1 year, roughly, was a success in representing the company to investors, press, and regulators. Corey helped Ripple with strategy internally and overall industry education. But due to changes in market conditions, we've chosen to eliminate the role of chief market strategist. So I suspect there's more to it than that, but they were adults and separated, however, and I'm not going to speculate on the reasons, but yeah, it was cool having Corey there. He's just a lively fellow, but nonetheless, that's in the past. Check out this tweet from David Schwartz. I like this guy's sense of humor, and this caught my eye as I was scrolling through my Twitter feed, and it's from David Schwartz. That always catches my eye anyway, because I always want to see what he has to tweet, and it just says no comment. So I was like, what is this? And there's a graphic here, and so I clicked on it, and there's some sort of retail outlet. It looks to me like it's a retail outlet. I haven't heard of them. It looks like they have the Target logo, basically, but it's not. It just says, Open House. Okay, so I guess there's a business called Open House, and there's a sign up here that says, Closed for private event. But good job, David. I like that, though. I like that type of humor. It's kind of like a little bit, I don't know if dry is the right word, but I like that. That's my style. All right, next here's a tweet from Alex Cobb, who tweeted out, If I hit millions with XRP, my promise to this community is to hire devs and build consumer-facing applications powered by XRP, and then maybe buy a Lambo. Kudos to you, good sir. That is the right thing to do. Devs, hire devs, build consumer-facing application, and then Lambo. Moon Lambo says yes. All right, last piece in this video. Privacy-focused cryptos hunted down by forensics and exchanges. And I do indeed think privacy coins need to not exist. It just makes it too easy to engage in illicit activities. It doesn't make any damn sense. Bitcoin, on the other hand, and XRP and other cryptocurrencies with public ledgers, perfectly fine. You'd have to be an idiot to move money around utilizing something with a public ledger like that. That is dumb. You can track it. But, the way in which this is going to unfold, I suspect, is that you're just going to continue to see exchanges delisting cryptocurrencies. But let's jump into the piece. As Japan and South Korea, two of the largest cryptocurrency exchange markets in Asia, are increasingly pressuring exchanges to delist privacy-focused crypto assets, and concerns are rising that it could lead to more markets, at least in Asia, to follow the trend of the two major countries, right? And they say that's a concern. I say it's progress. Anyway. Meanwhile, blockchain analytics firms like CipherTrace appear to be developing technologies to better understand the structure of privacy-focused coins and to trace transactions initiated by cryptocurrencies. Speaking to Cointelegraph, the spokesperson for CipherTrace said that the company expects to see some progress by 2020 on privacy coins, stating, "We look forward to some results on privacy coins in 2020. But as things stand, analytics firms are still not close to finding a solution for tracing transactions processed by some privacy coins like Monero, which may make it more difficult for privacy coins to remain listed on strictly regulated exchanges that support fiat pairs." Exactly. It's going to get to the point where if you have these privacy coins, when this is all shaken out, how are you even going to turn that into into fiat currency? Like, how are you even going to? So you could say, well, you don't need to. You just have this closed system where you do your illicit activities or the activities you don't want the government to know about, completely shrouded in secrecy. But how do you do that if there's no liquidity because exchanges aren't? Because you're not going to get more users engaging in that. Like, where's the liquidity going to come from? And then even if there were those users, which there won't be, as this is shut down, understand you can't do anything else with it. And you're just going to have extreme volatility with a small number of people utilizing multiple different privacy coins. That makes no damn sense in the world. I mean, come on, let's exercise some critical thinking. This isn't going to end well. That's why I own 0 privacy coins. And then also, full disclosure, I have announced this in the past, but the only cryptocurrency that I bought since 2018 onward is XRP. That's it. Because I just realized very early on that utility matters. And I jumped in the world of crypto in November 2017. I did buy a bunch of different cryptocurrencies, and I don't care about them. I have them, but I quickly figured out, fairly quickly, I would say, that XRP was the only one on the cusp of being used in the production version of something, XRapid. It was already being used in the beta version, and so anyway, there we are. But Japan and South Korea have essentially imposed a blanket ban on privacy-focused cryptocurrencies like Monero, Zcash, and Dash, which officers at the Japanese Financial Services Agency like to describe as the 3 anonymous siblings. Throughout the past year, the G7, an organization consisting of the 7 largest economies, and the Financial Action Task Force, FATF, which operates under the G7, have shown efforts to unify basic regulatory frameworks surrounding cryptocurrencies. With the push of Japan, both the G7 and the FATF have pressured major markets to take action against privacy coins, leading large exchanges like Upbit and OKX to delist Monero, Zcash, and several other cryptocurrencies. On September 10th, OKX Korea said in an official statement translated by Cointelegraph, quote, according to the statement corresponding to FATF R16, we have decided to take measures to end trading support for stocks classified as privacy-oriented cryptocurrencies, aka dark coins. So there you go. And then you got the likes of somebody like John McAfee saying that, investing in privacy coins, that's the way of the future. That's where everybody's going to be investing. Oh my God. Well, see, look, I like John McAfee. I just disagree with him firmly on this particular point, but that's not true. Okay, if you are kind of an anarchist, which is closer in line with what I perceive John McAfee to be, I don't know if he uses that word for himself, but just the way in which he talks about governments and banks and the way everything's going, it's very ideological driven. But for me, there's no ideology. I just take a look at pragmatically in practice what is going to occur. And saying that it makes sense to invest in privacy coins because that's where people are going to have their sovereignty just makes no damn sense to me, frankly. But you can tell me what you think below. It's okay to disagree. I am not a financial advisor. Do not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo!